Well, like like anything that has to do with finance, um, usually it follows the law of demand and supply. When when there's a demand for something, there's a need for it, then you're likely to find finance in that area. So I do agree with him in the affordability test issue. You know, I always use the example where I say somebody needs to write and you want to sell a pen to him. There are pens that are more expensive than cars. You have a Mont Blanc pen, you have a ballpoint pen, you have big pen, you understand. So rather than you just come in to someone and say, oh, I have this beautiful Mont Blanc pen, he can do this, he can do that, he can do this. Why not just ask him, what's your budget like? What can you afford? And then before you start bringing out Mont Blanc, you know that once you've asked those questions, you've investigated, you know that, oh, this person, oh, it's a ballpoint pen, or he can afford a Mont Blanc pen, then you can now start talking. So it's more likely at that point that you can sell that individual. So yes, the affordability test is very important before you begin to apply things, before you begin to, put a lot of, all the smart home gadgets and ingredients and all that. You have to be able to know that people can afford, and then you can tailor whatever it is you have for them. I'll give an example with solar energy. Now, the way solar works is that it has components, right? So you have your panels, you have your storage, you have all of that. Now, because you know the budget of people, you can tailor something to them, and you can build what we call modular systems with solar now. So like somebody will say, oh, I have a 5 kVA system, or I need a 5 kVA system. You don't need to start with a 5 kVA system. You can start and say, what can you afford? And the guy says, I want my lights on, I want this on, I want that on. And then you give him that. You give him just the lights. And then you know that, okay, after a few more months, I can add more panels to it. Like, for example, you can start with an inverter solution, and then after a while, you add panels to it. If you feel that because that's what we found out. Everybody was always complaining about cost. Everybody understands that renewable energy, alternative energy is the way forward. But then it was still hard bringing it into our system because people were very price sensitive. So I do believe that we need to do that, even for the homes. Even if we have to look for innovative solutions to find ways to fund this thing and make it easy for people to really key in and plug into the benefits of a smart city.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Kingsley, just like Mr. Anthony, how has it been convincing people to buy into or buy some of the tech stuff that you guys have? To get into that, to make their houses smart?
Okay, first of all, let me also state that Zynox is an indigenous OEM. So when Dr. Collins was asking that question about how indigenous he was, okay, so I was actually waiting. I was kind of interested in what he was saying. So there's the question of getting people to buy into the technology. Then there's also the most difficult part of convincing people to buy Nigeria. You understand? So that's two key things.
Two key things.
Yes.
Convincing people to buy Nigeria and convincing people to key into...
Yes, people that are not technology savvy.
Okay.
Let me just mention that also one of the things that we do in Zynox, one of the products, we're also into renewable energy. We have our own inverter system, solar panels, and batteries, charge controllers, and lights. So it's a new, we started that in 2017. So I quite understand what he's talking about, even price and people buying into renewable energy because of the cost implications. So it's not been easy actually convincing people. Part of what we do is to first of all try to, like the other, my colleague, the other person had mentioned, is to do what we call proof of concept. But sometimes because sometimes people need to see to understand what they want to buy. And so we always have that at the back of our mind to ensure that, okay, if we have to convince agency, because even though I'm in the public space, basically the corporate sector, when we started expanding our product line from the basic computers, desktops, and now expanded into some tablets, renewable energy, and then we have a brand of and called iTech for home appliances. Okay, so these are also areas that we got into, but it was difficult initially. But what we do is we try to do what we call proof of concept for the solution, for the inverters, and then for some of the products that we have, we also give people to check. Because we are also appreciative of the fact that NIDA, through the federal government, is also pushing the executive order, one of Mr. President, executive order 3 and 5 on local content. So we are urging Nigerians to look inwards, because basically, when you come to devices, a typical, let's say the desktop or the laptop you have, maybe HP or Dell, they are all basically assembly companies. Okay, you open a typical system, you see motherboard from this, the keyboard from what's it called, chip, or the hard drive. So what they do is they assemble and they put their brand. So what we have in Lagos factory is actually an assembly plant too, where we get these cheap devices, accessories or parts, and they will assemble them. Obviously, because of part situation in Nigeria, it's not yet ripe. Nigeria is not ripe for actual manufacturing of these parts, like Dr. Collins had mentioned. So, but the future, basically what we're looking forward to is a situation where the light power situation will improve, and we should be able to start manufacturing some of these major devices, accessories that we need to assemble products that will be branded Nigeria and that we can be proud of as an indigenous OEM. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Mibeka, has the government done well, or are they doing well in helping create a conducive atmosphere to achieving smart cities as per their policies, their encouragement, their general disposition towards smart city and its components?
That's a very difficult question to answer. You want to put me on a tight spot. I will say yes and I will say no. Why? Because I think government is just playing lip service to most of the things. All the promises they have made so far, they never, really go out to execute them properly. They don't. When a government decides to give a promise regarding any project abroad, especially the Chinese, they are very committed about it, and they ensure that they execute it to the letter. But here, our government is comme ci, comme ça. They do it, I will say, the same way they handled the property that demolished, that got the property that just came down in the Girard Road yesterday. They just pay lip service. If you mark a house for demolition, smartly demolish that house. Do not bother about whose ox is God or anything. Demolish it. Now they didn't. The man went to the government officials and raised 6 more floors upon the house. And they left it, and they were negligent about it. And today about 50 people are dead. What do you call that?
Corruption.
Eh?
Corruption.
I'll crack a joke here. This is just a joke. When, not Donald Trump, Joe Biden, he requested for the repainting of the White House, and 3 people indicated interest. One was a Chinese man, the second was a European, the third was a Nigerian. And of course, he asked the Chinese, how much will you take in painting the White House. The Chinese told him $3 million. He says, okay. They asked the European, how much will he take in painting the White House? The man said, 7 million. Then he asked the Nigerian man, how much will it take to paint the same White House? The Nigerian said 10 million. So he wanted to know how Nigerian son was 10, European was 7, and the Chinese was 3. He asked the Chinese, how did you arrive at 3 million? He said, 1 million for paint, 1 million for labor, 1 million for profit. Then he asked the European, give me the analysis. He said 3 million for paint, 2 million for labor, 2 million, is it working? 2 million for, profit. Then he asked the Nigerian. The Nigerian said, well, for me, 4 million for you, Biden, 3 million for me, and 3 million for the Chinese. So the job is done.
So there is.
It's corruption. Corruption is our bedrock. It's the greatest headache we have. I will tell you another story. Do you know that the train line from Lagos to Ibadan is 116 kilometers? And it costs us $1 billion to execute. 1 billion from the Chinese. The same 1 billion was used in executing a railway line from Tema Port to the hinterland of Ghana, and it's 544 kilometers. Ours is 116. Theirs is 544. Theirs is electric. Ours is locomotive. Is that not corruption? What do you call that? So the greatest problem we have in Nigeria is corruption. Everywhere. Thank you. I hope I'll be able to answer your question.
Yes, sir, you did, and it's quite sad. And I think those are part of the things the smart city and automation of homes will probably help to solve. Anthony, in view of some of the challenges you have heard and then you've heard, our rapporteurs are there. We want to make some concrete recommendations for the government to put together to advance the smart city project and then the whole ecosystem that will ensure we have smart cities. What are some of the recommendations you're going to give to the government in your own sector of automating houses?
Okay.
Is it more publicity? Is it more sensitization? Just read it out.
Okay. My recommendations are, first of all, the bottlenecks in doing business. There are a lot of people who have smart ideas. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who have what it takes to drive the smart city. But there are a lot of challenges also preventing them. First of all is access to funds. It is very difficult to access FX from the government. The government policies are frustrating entrepreneurs, especially those that import. The government agencies, the government policies are so bottlenecked that it's very difficult to access FX, to bring them in. So you're fighting against the customer, you're fighting against the government, and you're fighting against custom. For instance, you buy a product for 100 naira. So for $100, to access the $100, you have to buy black market. If you buy the black market, to send the money outside the country is a problem. If you're able to send the money outside the country, shipping and custom duty adds another 100 naira to the product. It gets to Lagos. After shipping and clearing, to get the items to site is another cost. So something you bought for 100 naira that you would have sold for maybe 20 or 30% profit on top, you end up selling for 450. Because when it gets to your office, you have to pay tax. You have to pay the government agencies that walk around to ask for, what's it called? You pay the area councils, you pay Standard Organization of Nigeria, you pay, there are a lot. To name them, there are a lot. So my recommendations to the government will be, first of all, remove the bottlenecks for importers, the SMEs that drive the economy. Remove the bottlenecks, the ones that are genuinely trading, genuinely rendering services. They are the ones driving the economy. Remove the bottlenecks. If they are able to remove those bottlenecks, they will encourage more people to go into those things. That's one. Then two, for the smart city, these are the challenges we are going to face in the smart city unless the government reduces the tariffs, make available FX for trading, or at least we should be able to pay with Naira. It should be that easy to pay with Naira, which is our own currency. And I also think if the e-Naira is harnessed properly, it will solve a lot of problems. And trust me, the smart city will just be our stepping stone.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him. So, FHA, I know you're in government, but I also know that you are first a citizen of Nigeria. So the way it's paining us is the same way it's going to be paining you. But you will not talk with the whole of your mouth. So some of us will do the talking for you. Do you think you people give enough money to developers to solve Nigeria's housing problem?
Of course we do, but we're talking about smart cities now. Smart cities, I won't say, well, I would say are expensive to build. We are the first smart cities we are working, the first developer working to do a smart city in Ibadan. Along Kola, there's a university. There's a smart city coming up there. That's our first project. And we've not encountered any serious difficulty because we already have off-takers that are buying most of those houses off-plan, even before they are fully developed. But there are other ways government has helped, especially when it comes to local content. Like the Development Bank of Nigeria, their main job is to fund local content manufacturers to build houses. And we've worked with a lot of them. We've worked with their association or group to build some houses here in Abuja. People that produce tiles, people that do painting. They produce paints that with raw materials from Nigeria. They don't go outside to source any raw materials. They're even looking into ICT components like Dr. Ugo was saying initially. Their job is to fund those kind of items so that it reduces cost on the developer and it makes the project more affordable. The whole idea is affordability because you cannot have somebody buy a house that he cannot afford at the end of the day. Then again, we're looking at Nigerians that can't afford houses off pocket, like come pay for house from their savings. It's going to be difficult. That's why creating mortgages is key. When Nigeria as a whole gets to embrace the idea of mortgages, it will make a lot of life easier because you will make payment for a house with ease without having pressure of funding the house at once. It gives you space for you to take your time and pay for a house. That's the whole idea of mortgages and government coming into and that comes from the National Housing Funds program. That's where you get people that contribute to those pool of funds get the license and the space to key into mortgages and pay off those houses fair mortgages, which is actually easier than paying off pocket. That's the whole idea.
All right. I won't stay on you for too long because you are still in government, and because I'll probably come to you to see how I'll get mortgage too. So let me be nice to you. All right, Mr. B. Renewable energy. I know you went to Germany a while ago. You saw some of the stuff they are doing. I think you had one saying that the factory BMW they use 2 megawatts, and then the state of Valencia is powered by solar and all those. Please, I need some concrete recommendations on what the government should do to advance smart cities in Nigeria. Because smart cities will also solve a lot of the problems we have as far as housing is concerned.
Exactly. All right. Well, one, there are so many recommendations we can give, but, it's always good. There's something they always talk about, the low-hanging fruits. Sometimes, I always use an analogy. I say, there is health and there is fitness. Which one comes first? You can be fit and not be healthy. So you don't want to put the cart before the horse. Health.
But you can be healthy but not fit.
You can be healthy but not fit. So both of them are important, but it is important to be healthy. That's more important. So sometimes there are some things that come before the other ones. The other ones have dependencies. And I think the first thing to deal with is, or the first recommendation I would say is to make renewable energy accessible. One major thing is access to finance, access to funds. Do you know that, for example, I'll use a concrete example. Solar energy is the most widely used alternative energy in the world. In fact, as you and I speak now, is the cheapest anywhere in the world. Right?
Even with compared to the sheet to energy?
That one is not cheap because it still has a cost. But solar energy is the cheapest. But do you know why solar energy is expensive in Nigeria? Because in the world, solar energy keeps going down in cost. But in Nigeria, what brings it back up is our dollar. Is the dollar to naira exchange. So I'll give an example. About 8 years ago, we had a project we wanted to power the Wuse market. And then it was costing about $3 million. But that same system today is just about 1.2. The same system we would have used to power Wuse market is now, just in a space of 7 years, is $1.2 million. That's over 50% reduction. But unfortunately, the dollar keeps going up. So whatever gains we have in terms of solar, in fact, solar would have been so inaccessible if not for the fact that in the international market, the prices are going down. The price is going down. You understand what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is that $3 million 7 years ago is now like 6 million now, or 7 million because of our dollar.
It depends on what dollar was the exchange rate back then.
Then it was 150.
So
now it's 500 and something.
so unfortunately, that's what we have seen. So I feel that if we know we have a problem that is a major problem, this energy problem is a major problem, why can't we isolate, or why can't the government just isolate renewable energy as a means of, boosting that sector or that ecosystem? Why not make it such a way that those who are into renewable energy, just like we have the same thing happens to those that are exporting crude, let's make sure we give them, they don't go to the black market to get money to be able to purchase these things. At least until, there are incentives that you can give to certain sectors to boost them. I feel that is one that is so critical. If we can avoid this fluctuation, this dollar increase, I'm sure if it's stabilized, the same batteries that you are buying for 150,000 naira now, the original price the dollar market is just about 45,000 naira. So, I mean, if you now say, okay, let's look at, which brands. I know one of the other issues is quality. Then you can now say, okay, these are the companies or these are the brands that we want to, if you are selling this brand because we've tested this brand has withstood the test of time, so that there's no dumping of substandard products. You can, even if it's 10 batteries, or 10 companies or 15 companies, let's say for example local content, Zynox and the rest of them, then we now know that, okay, these things are affordable. And once it gets affordable, there is what we call levelized cost of electricity. Your fuel is going up, right? AEDC is going up. So if you can reduce that, then by the end of the day, you find out that everybody will be fine, and it won't be hard for people to key into this whole thing. And if you look at that sector and you say, this is what we can do, let's give incentives to this sector in this area, there will be a lot of growth, and there will be widespread economies of scale in terms of usage, and then prices will go further down.
Okay, so for our rapporteurs, we've so far highlighted corruption, we've highlighted ease of doing business, ease of importation, highlighted access to funding. We've highlighted access to forex, and then we've also highlighted prioritizing companies that work within the ecosystem of the smart cities. All right, sir, over to you. Your concrete recommendations, sir. And then we'll now do final shots before we wrap up the session.
Okay, thank you. I think pretty much, most of the recommendations that have been given here are quite encompassing. They're quite broad. Okay, so there's nothing much I would add, except that it still boils down to government. Government needs to play a very critical role in driving, even though Chinese economy today was grown basically from the middle, what we call the SME, middle class. That was how it started before it got to this stage. The government played a role. The government opened up, supported the middle economy, which was what made it get to the stage where it was now. China is now a powerhouse in terms of economy. So even though the private sector, government needs to support the private sector very, very critically. In policy making is important. So while we're looking at the area of access to forex, ease of doing business, which was addressed, I think there's an executive order for that too. Executive order is under executive order at 7 or 9 after the first 3 and 5. There's an ease of doing business that was signed by the vice president then. So this particular area is what I think. I think that the government should actually make out policies that would drive private sector businesses, because they are basically the fulcrum of of any well-meaning economy. So education is important. What's it called? Enlightenment, public enlightenment is also very, very important, because we get to see, we get to intimate people about this knowledge of smart technology, like the forum we're having here, and the importance of it. So it's very critical that we also adopt, government tries to promote such fora, like this, for us, enabling people of like minds to come together, and also enable startups, like the young lady had mentioned, to encourage them to go into things that have to do with technology. It's very, very key to us. And in Zynox also, we, on our own parts, we have like an internship school that we bring up people that are IT, tech savvy, that have interest in technology. We train them and try to put them out there to also and support them also at the end of the day. So it's just what we're doing at only to but I think that government can do more, okay, by some of these counterpart fundings. There are some funds that CBN, you hear that, okay, this amount is available in CBN, but to access it, is a problem. I had there's a 50 billion particular SME fund that was assessed, not just that, and some other ones, but assessing it is the problem. So when we say access to funds, some of these funds are probably have been released by government, but the conditions, the stringent conditions of accessing those funds is what is causing, is what the challenge is. So I think government should also make access to those funds that are already mapped out, for these things to be available and accessible to intending startups or companies.
Okay, so you've added education, enlightenment, and then access to not access to funds. I'm thinking of how best to couch it.
Yeah, it's
Simplifying
ease of access to
access to funds. I was looking for a video to send to them to project, but I couldn't find it. It was somebody, a young man in Texas this morning. He was just lamenting. I think he was flying, and then he did a video of the area. He counted over 14 flyovers and bridges within the same area. And he was like, why can't Lagos be like this? And let's ease traffic. That our leaders come here all the time. And he spent a lot of time just lamenting and lamenting. And I was like, it is part of making a city smart, ease of movement. So, and infrastructure is not, it doesn't come easy as well. So, and I'm surprised nobody talked about the infrastructure for smart cities. So I'll add that on my own. Rapporteurs, please add infrastructure for smart cities. So let's take our final shots. Let's start from the banker. I'm trying to be your friend so that when I come for mortgage, you'll be easy on me. Your parting words. Yes.
Okay. Actually, I was supposed to talk about that infrastructure part. Our project in Buhari right now, we're trying to engage FEMA in terms of them helping us with road drainages. Then in turn, we're not paying them, but we will earmark a piece of the land and build an estate for them within the same estate of ours. What's the piece of land? Build an estate and probably name it FEMA quarters or something like that. We're thinking about that. Then giving the street names to people, their bosses right now, so that they will help us develop the roads and drainages, but in turn, they benefit from that particular piece of land. Those that can afford it.
Is that not corruption?
That's not corruption, because right now they're developing the land for us and they're doing infrastructure for us. Well, we're not giving them cash, but their staff are going to pay back by going for mortgages for those particular houses. That's the way we'll get funds to pay them back, and just a small, minute profit we're going to get from that part of this.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you very much for lending your voice to my own infrastructure this thing. Please, the house in Buhari, is it just for FEMA staff?
No, not just for FEMA staff. We are looking into government MDAs that have something they can give, then their staff will in turn benefit from the estate. In the end, they will go for mortgages, and through that means we will be able to pay all parties involved.
How about ordinary citizens and those in the private sector?
Yes, that's why I said we will earmark pieces of land. We'll still build for the citizens that will be able to afford the kind of houses we're going to build in Buhari. Of course, we're looking at very affordable houses in that location.
Okay, my name is Ojugo Onyeluka, and I'll be seeing you immediately after this session to see how I will benefit from that particular initiative. Anthony, your passing words.
Okay, my passing words. First of all, I would say smart living is the new normal. The whole essence of trying to live smart is to conserve energy. Electricity tariffs are extremely high, and we're gradually depleting the ozone. Hence, we have to look for alternative source of energy, and also find a way to reduce our consumption. So the whole idea of smart home is not just comfort and luxury, but also to conserve energy and go green. Like I said, it's no longer rocket science. It has become an integral part of our daily living. So our partnership with the smart city would avail or would make us provide these solutions. Thank you.
I agree with you. That particular statement, that smart living is the new normal. I remember a couple of years ago when my wife just gave birth. I'll probably be playing ball, or I'll probably be in a meeting or something in the evening, and they'll call me, "Baby, Nepa's taking lights." I'll say, "They need to go and put on the generator now." Say, "Who will put it on?" Because it was that dragging one. Nobody told me when to go and buy a generator that has remote. So when they take it, you just put your hand out of the window. And I had peace. But now we've left that remote to a higher one. Daddy, a party was, sir.
Yeah, my parting word is this. No country is going to wait for Nigeria. Definitely, all of them are running at the speed of thinking and at the speed of light. So if we want to catch up, we need to wake up from our deep slumber. The government has to come into this because no individual can do it. It has to be a collective effort of every one of us. Everyone must be engaged in ensuring that this smart city concept comes to full realization. And until that is done, nobody should sleep with his two eyes closed. Because it's only through smart solutions that you can get into smart security and be able to, defeat the scourge of insecurity that we have in the country today. So my party shot is this, that everybody must engage. It is not left for government alone. It is for every one of us to be involved in smart solution, as a matter of fact. Smart governance, smart transportation, smart health, smart logistics, smart food, smart agric, smart security. All of them are integrated into smart city solution. So it's for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So the only thing left is to have smart government. A couple of years ago again, because I like using stories to buttress issues,
Yes.
we had an AE program, and we had people from over 50 countries in Nigeria. So one of those times when we're taking people back to their various hotels, one guy said, that this is the Abuja that they've been talking about, a city built by Africans for Africans.
Yeah.
That's the only major city in Africa that was built by Africans for Africans.
Yeah.
And I sat back and I said, okay, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Rabat, Casablanca, Tunis, Cairo. I started thinking, and in actual fact, Abuja is the only major city that was built by Africans for Africans. But looking at how things are now, we will still be able to. I was very proud that day.
Yes.
But looking at how things are now, I'm not sure I'll be that proud that I want to go from here to City Gate and I will spend 25 minutes because of traffic.
Yes.
And I'm coming back from work from City Gate to Lugbe, 1 hour. We're gradually turning to Lagos again.
Yes.
Mr. B, let's not talk too much. Your final words, sir.
Well, that's one of the challenges of urbanization without necessarily planning and anticipating and being proactive as to how to handle. And I think that's what smart cities are. The smart city concept, the smart living concept is designed to actually address. Because then you can be proactive, there's energy efficiency, there's technology, there is, like you said, renewable energy, there is, all those things are integrated, and it helps us to, to be able to, mine the benefits socially and economically for us as, yeah. By the way, Abuja is the youngest capital city in the world anyway. The youngest capital city in the world as well. So Abuja is a beautiful place. The master plan, if it had been followed, it's just the whole pressure of insecurity, people moving in without really, really controlling that process. Is one of the things that have led to the challenges of what, the city is facing and what we are facing. So I think with more input from government, and like Mr. Doki said, we can't sit on the fence when it comes to certain things. It's these little activities here and there, talking about it, collaborating, trying to put hands together, finding solutions, like they say, in silos, is what eventually will gather that momentum for us to have that tipping point towards, smart living and all that. These conversations are important. It might seem irrelevant, it might seem inconsequential, but they're important because we're focusing our attention to what the future is going to be like, and the earlier we get in, the better for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Kingsley, your final parting words.
Okay, thank you. I think basically 3 pillars of this whole concept. Okay. One is the technology, which Office Smart City is based on. One is technology. 2 is the people. And then a third one will be the institution of government. So if these 3 key players come together to harmonize or synchronize, the activities, then I'm sure that Nigeria will actually be on the path. The road is actually far from the look of things, but we'll be on the path to achieving this smart city vision, that we all have. What is very important for a kind of harmonization between the 3 key elements that I just mentioned now. But apart from that, we just have to hope that as we're having these forums, fora, as it goes around, government is also listening. And they're taking notes on some of our comments. I'm sure that by the time these the frameworks and the framework or at the end of this program, gathered together and then submitted. The government will be able to look at some of these things and see, areas they can take key actions so that we can all achieve this vision. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Afritex, our panelists, they've thrown the ball back into your court. They said the conversation must continue. We must keep this conversation on the front burner of issues and of discussions. So, in ending this session, my final word is, let the conversation continue. Thank you very much, panelists, for a wonderful job done. Let's stand and take pictures. The CEO, you can join us. And then the general public, when we finish here, we'll be going around the exhibition stand. There are wonderful, wonderful, innovative stands out there for you to see. CEO, please join us. Let's take pictures. I was just reminded that we have to do innovation demos. Thank you. I just remembered. Two innovation demos. Okay, very good. Are they ready? Please let them get ready so we'll immediately after the pictures. You don't have smart camera that can manage smart lights.
Don't be sad, understand. Everybody has a day when the sun stays away. Take heart in a new tomorrow. A little more love between makes for a brighter day. Never need worry, let one love set you free. One love keep us together. Living in a world, it's a struggle just staying alive. One love keep us together. Living in a world, it's a struggle just staying alive. Somebody tell me, oh, why do we fight it? One love can set us free if we just let it be.
All right.
Take
The first person for the innovation demo, very quick, very quickly, is Dimex Interior Limited. Are they here? Dimex. Okay, please. And after that, we would have mobile doctors. Yes. And two of my brothers, I know you've not seen yourself in a while. Anthony and Mr. B. Please, let's sit down and listen to Dimex. Do you need a hand? Okay. All right. You need them there?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kosi Okonkwo, and I'm here to present Dimex Interiors Limited. That's Dimex for the brand. Shop everything home. I'm so sorry. I think they're having issue with the presentation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. So who are we? Dimex Interiors Limited is a platform that helps furniture makers, interior decorators, artisans, homeware suppliers sell their products to a wider market by giving them visibility in an online marketplace. with features such as AR, that's augmented reality, and 3D room planner used to visualize products in real time, making the platform fun and easy to use. Using Lagos mainland as a case study, virtually every street you go to in Lagos mainland has a furniture shop by the side, 2 or 1. But we have showrooms, just few or no showrooms in different areas. These showrooms go to this roadside furniture shop to buy furniture. They rebrand it and sell it at higher price. As a result, about 80% of homeware suppliers are not discoverable beyond the vicinity of their geographical location. And about 40% of homeware buyers import from outside the country, which is costly. And like one of the panelists said, clearing and shipping fee is even very, very costly. They do so not because we don't have those quality products in Nigeria, but because we don't see them online, and what we don't see, we don't buy. With COVID-19, crowded Nigerian markets are no longer ideal, in addition to the stress of going from one market to another to purchase these high-volume products. As a solution to this problem, DMEX has developed a responsive, efficient, and groundbreaking online marketplace for these transactions. The platform has a disruptive tech feature such as augmented reality and 3D room planner that enables buyers visualize their products in real time, having a feel of this item before proceeding to buy them. The platform will save a lot of money from importation of these goods because the purchase of domestic goods and services increases our GDP. We intend to educate our users who are mostly unaware of the importance of technology and digitalization to brand their products properly in an attractive way, thereby increasing the sellability of these products within and outside Nigeria. Our business process. Suppliers display full catalog of their products and buyers search through to purchase their choice of item. Buyers go ahead to visualize this product using our 3D room planner, which is very fantastic. Immediately order is placed. Details are forwarded to the supplier to prepare the product for shipping. The logistic company that we have partnered with, closest to the supplier, prepares to pick all those items for delivery. The whole process is managed using our order management system automatically. The interior market is very, very big. And as long as this real estate market keeps growing, interior market is never going to die. So we have about 891 million available markets, and we have $291 million of total addressable market, and our serviceable obtainable market is about 103 million, making it a very big market to venture into. Our revenue model, very simple: 5 to 15% commission on product sales. That's for every product that is being purchased from the platform. We charge about 5 to 15% commission on the product, and $5 to $20 on product promotion and advertising. We have traction, KPI metrics, and milestones. In June 2021, we surveyed 100 homeware suppliers, reviewed the first draft of our UI and UX designs. From July 2021 to August 2021, we launched our pilot using Facebook marketing, and we made about 250,000 in revenue, and we reviewed the second draft of the UI UX designs. In September 2021, we reviewed the last draft of the UI UX designs, covered our first 200 products from 8 suppliers, had first official meeting with the logistic company we want to partner with. And in October 2021, we started developing the minimum viable product. We developed a product demo to show what this product is going to look like, and we started making preparations for the development of the 3D room planner. Our needs: funding for food development of the AR and 3D room planner feature will cost us about $8,000, and product coverage across Nigeria, because we want to cover the first set of products that will be on the platform for free from product suppliers across Nigeria. And marketing and promotion for the first 4 months before launch is going to cost us about $17,000, making it a total of $35,000 for full platform development and launch. Milestones to be accomplished in 2 years. By 2022, we want to be able to launch the minimum viable product by second quarter of 2022, then full platform development by last quarter of 2022. By 2023, we want to employ more staffs and build staff competencies, and also reaching 9,000 suppliers in Nigeria and across Africa with 20,000 buyers. By last quarter of 2023, we want to be able to attain about $100,000 in revenue, and also start planning to develop the AR feature for e-commerce platform, because we also want to implement this same feature for every other product you want to buy in Nigeria, be it wristwatch, be it clothing. You should be able to test it real time, and that is yes, our next 2 years milestone to be accomplished. Our team: I am the co-founder and the CEO, Kosi Okonkwo. I'm a software project manager, a digital marketer, and a brand strategist. I have my co-founder and CTO, Daniel Agozim, a software engineer. I have our CEO, COO, Paul Onyekwere, a software engineer. I have Michael Kolawole, media and marketing expert. He's also a videographer and a photographer and a creative content creator. And I have our product designer, Henry Oluwatobiloba, making us a full, powerful team. With Dimex, your dream home is just a click away. Design more extraordinary with Dimex from anywhere, at any time, while having fun and at very best rates. Dimex offer you and your family a creative, fun time. So please can you go to the next slide? Okay, this is how the 3D room planner is going to look after development. This is the design. So from here, you can design your room with products from the platform. Then after that, you can go ahead to shop all the products or shop some of the products. You can design from your living room furniture to your bedroom furniture to your kitchen and every other thing. And this will also be very useful to interior decorators, as this will make their work easier and fun. So the next slide here is some snippet from the platform we're working on. So this is how it's going to look after development. Thank you.
Okay, are we ready with the demo? Okay, play. Okay, while we're waiting for the demo, mobile doctors, please get ready.
Yes, okay, so this is the demo we've developed. And from it, this is not the full platform. This is just a demo that can show you how to place these objects or those items in your room. So it makes the work easier for you, knowing what you want to buy, how it's going to look on that particular apartment or that particular position before going ahead to buy it. So you can place any item from windows to doors to beds to TV stands and all. And all of these will be purchasable from the DMEX platform. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, another round of applause for her. DMEX platform. Interesting. So while you're setting up your house, you can just design it by yourself. Wonderful. All right, the second demo is by Mobile Doctors. Mobile Doctor, are you here? Ah, the young man who spoke earlier. Dr. Agu's mentee. Don't worry, I'm one of you too. All right. Welcome.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, I really want to congratulate you all on your tenacity, staying up to this moment in time. So, without much ado, standing on the existing protocol, I want us to know that the work I'm about to present to us is going to change our understanding of physics. It's going to bring about an advancement in power, advancement in medicine. And that future is no longer a future, it's something that is happening right now. So, without much ado, I want to introduce to us the mobile doctor, the genesis of smart citizens and intelligent healthcare. This initiative was spurred from the World Health Organization statistics, showing the fact that the poorest citizens, Nigerian citizens, have extremely limited access to quality healthcare. As you can see, this is death due to what? Limited access to quality healthcare. And then there is also what? Poor data collection and record keeping. Nigerians don't have a comprehensive social register, and nearly all of the Nigerian health care industry data relies on analog record keeping. It's actually a very major problem in our time. And then also there is insufficient medical equipment. These are the problems we are facing. Even though the world has advanced, we in this part of the world are still facing these issues. And so what is the way forward? That is the question we'll be asking ourselves. Leveraging on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, I would like to introduce to us the mobile doctor which solves it all. Now with this mobile doctor here, it's a device, like I said, that is based on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. The mobile doctor functions this way. It helps to collect the user's data, the blood oxygen level of the user, the body temperature of the user, the heartbeat, as well as the pulse of the user. And then what happens with this data is relayed online, unlike the existing health system, which has no capability of sending this record online. And because this record is sent to a broker platform online, it can generate what is known as historical health data over time, so that as this data is developed historically, it can be fed to a machine learning algorithms. Now, the purpose of this algorithm is to make useful health prediction to the user in question. So the purpose of this design is to help you as a user to know your health status in the future. If you're going to break down in the future, this device will help you to know that. And then if you know, as the aphorism goes, to be forewarned is to be forewarned armed. So if you know that you're going to break down in the future due to a current bad practice which you are engaging, you will know how to stop that. And this will limit the rate at which people go to hospitals. You know, right now, the country's economic status is not really smiling. And due to that, the poverty is on the increase. So how do we cope with that? The saying goes that the wealth of a nation is dependent on the health of the nation. If we cannot sustain smart citizens by providing sustainable healthcare system for our citizens, then how are we going to grow further? Debt will be on the increase. That is a problem we are about to solve here. So this device can actually help you to know, even before it happens, that you're going to break down. And then it's also capable of giving what they call medical recommendations. So it can diagnose you to an extent of your current illness and can also make medical recommendations for you, so that the rate at which you go to hospitals due to your pocket size will be reduced. So by this, we are not eliminating the hospitals entirely. We are only saying that the only reason why you should go to hospital is in emergency cases, cases like surgery. That is when hospitals are needed. But for basic healthcare system, personal healthcare system, this device is actually very, very sufficient. So this is the architecture of the mobile doctor. It harnesses your pulse, your blood SpO2, the body temperature, and then interfaces it with the cloud storage system. And then upon this storage platform, machine learning algorithm is applied on this data, so you can receive services. And then we are also incorporating what is known as the NLP, the natural language processing. Now, the natural language processing is to account for our ethnic diversity. In this time of, in this part of the world where we have over 250 ethnic groups, it is very hard for persons to be able to adapt to technology very easily. So we are incorporating natural language processing to account for this diversity. So the results processed by this algorithm can be relayed to you in your local dialect. That is the purpose of the NLP. So you can receive health status prediction, medical recommendation, and diagnosis. And this will be presented on the various graphical user interfaces like the mobile app, the web interface. You can also have real-time display of this data on the device, on the mobile doctor device as well. Next slide. So let's talk about the market opportunity. For those of us that may really want to invest in this idea, according to statistics, as at Sunday, 31st of October 2021, we had about 221,907,083 million Nigerian citizens. This is the total population for the country as of now. And then we intend to capture this market in the first 3 years of this launch. And the proposal is that by come second quarter of 2022, the MVP will be fully ready for the market launch. So, next slide. So this is a business model. This device can be sold directly one-on-one. So this startup actually market this product one-on-one. You can buy it. It's actually for personal use. Personal use. And then there's also subscription and referral. This is how we intend to get to our market, our customers. Next slide. So with this initiative, we'll have lots of local partners. So not limited to this, National Health Insurance Scheme, National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, and the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, as well as Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, mostly local partners. Then we are also partnering with World Health Organization, because this service is actually related to this their specialty. We will be having a lot of things, a lot of terms on which you can partner with these agencies. Next slide. So this is our growth strategy. The project is like, according to the timeline, it will be out June of 2022, and we'll be doing a market launch of this project 2022. And as at that, we intend to capture 10% of the market through referrals and sales force. So if the product goes for $28.6, we will be making $200,200 from 7,000 sales of this product. Then in the second year, we'll capture 30% of the market. So how do we intend to do this? We'll partner with the government health organization for promotion and sales target meetup. That is how we intend to do this. And then this is the income we'll be generating, $600,600 from 21,000 users. And then up to the phase 3, which we are intending to capture 60% of the market. So through our advert, referrals, direct sales, and etc. So this is the statistics. This is how we intend to capture our market. Next slide. And then this is the proposed timeline. So the project right now this is the MVP of the mobile doctor. This is the MVP. As of this stage, we can capture your heartbeat. We can capture your mobile, your body temperature, and then it can be relayed to a broker platform online in real time. So this is the stage we are right now. And so concerning our timeline, we are proposing that from now to the end of this year, we'll be completing the firmware development and MVP, okay, November, okay, from now to the end of December. Then as of the first quarter of 2022, we'll be doing the beta launch as well as bug fixes. So our software team are assiduously working on the mobile interface as well as the web interface. So these guys are working assiduously on that, and then we are proposing that in the first quarter of 2022, they'll be done with that, and then the project will be on the beta stage. So after that is the marketing and launch of the mobile doctor come second quarter of 2022. Next slide. So these are the team members working on this. I'm an IoT architect and machine learning engineer. I'm handling the machine learning aspect. And then this is Ty Emmanuel, software engineer. Igata Mark, web engineer. Then Victor Elesho, the business developer. So these are the team working on the project currently. So this is it. Due to time factor, I will just put the demo as the last thing I'm going to do. So the thing is this. We are, like my mentor has talked about indigenous technology. I actually learned about indigenous technology from him. And part of that, because I'll be running up my service year, December, this year, that is in a month's time, we are aggressively taking this project to the next level. So we are actually encouraging you. Let's all put hands together and come up with this indigenous technology. So your investments cannot be overemphasized here. So we are hoping that this, because from patent search and other search for products like this, is being found to be the first of its kind, both in Nigeria and the world at large. So I really encourage us to join this team making the change to happen. So this is it. If this device can tell you that you're going to break down in the future, in a month's time, then we are discussing the future of medicine here, starting from this country. So you can get to know your health status even before you break down. That is what this device is all about. And then you can get medical diagnosis quicker than you can ever expect. So thank you very much. Without much ado, I will just simply show us how it works as at this stage. So currently, this device, when I plug it to my system, it begins to search for a hotspot. On connection to a hotspot, the sensors become active, and then they begin to send the data to the cloud in real time. That is how it works. All right, I actually left my phone behind. Help me with the phone. The phone. So my hotspot is on now. Unfortunately, the light is on already. That shows that it's ready to send data to the cloud. So as I'm talking to you right now, it's beginning to send data. So without hand being placed on it, it will send 0 values to the platform. And if I put my hands on it right now, it begins to take my heartbeat as well as my body temperature in real time and sends it to a broker platform. So if I want to check my past historical data, all I have collected in a month's time, I can access it. I have access to that through this device. So because my system is not connected to the projector, you will not be able to see it on the screen. So if you are really, really interested in seeing how this thing works, as soon as I drop the mic, you can approach me. I'll show you how it works. Thank you very much for listening.
Your confidence in presenting will even make somebody want to, sponsor the whole thing. You've done a good job. Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for him. We're gradually getting to the end of the program for the day. But before then, we have two more assignments. We'll go visit the exhibition stand and we eat because I'm hungry. I'm actually beginning to see men as trees. Everybody on this table is appearing three to me. It's experience I used to know that the real people are in the middle. So we need to eat right now. And then we'll come back for the award ceremony and then we'll close for the day. So my director, sir, Mr. Woru, please can you lead them to the exhibition stand and then we'll go have lunch. DJ, please some music.
as the day and the sun stays away.